Well, the Justice Department has agreed to settle lawsuits filed by conservative groups after they claimed that they were subject to extra scrutiny by the IRS. Groups with Tea Party affiliations say that their constitutional rights were violated after they received extra scrutiny when applying for tax-exempt status. The case was often referenced during the 2016 campaign season as an example of what Republicans called Obama administration overreach. CBS News Justice reporter Paula Reid joins us now to discuss this. Okay, Paula, so what evidence is there that this extra scrutiny on conservative groups actually occurred?
Well, the Justice Department says during the last administration that the IRS would apply extra scrutiny to certain groups when they applied for 501c tax-exempt status. The Justice Department said that when groups submitted their application and they had the word Tea Party or Tea Party Patriots or had any indication that their objective was to criticize how the country was being run, that those groups were put in a different pile. And as part of being in that pile, they were subject to extra scrutiny, including some instances where the IRS would ask for additional evidence, including sensitive information like donor information. Now, the IRS here, they have said that this was wrong and it never should have occurred.
Well, I'm curious what the IRS's response was to the claims, Paula.
Over 400 groups have actually filed lawsuits about this. Today's settlement settles and resolves a few dozen of them. And if these settlements are approved by a judge, part of the settlement will be that the IRS will sincerely apologize and admit that what happened here was, quote, wrong.
And Attorney General Jeff Sessions called the IRS's extra scrutiny, quote, an abuse of power, and said that the organizations affected actually deserve an apology. What do you make of that?
You know, an apology is the next best thing if you can't bring criminal charges. The Justice Department has been looking into this for quite some time, and this was a huge issue for conservatives. They believe that they were unfairly targeted in this particular instance, and there have been no criminal charges brought. There are indications that there will be no criminal charges brought against Lois Lerner or any of the other officials. So an apology is really all they're going to get, except some groups will receive monetary settlements.
So why settle now, Paula? How much of this is about actual wrongdoing, and how much of it is about just optics for the Trump administration trying to defend these conservative groups?
Well, the Justice Department says there certainly was improper conduct here, that groups cannot be discriminated against based on their policy objectives. However, they can lose that tax-exempt status based on the actual activities that they carry out. But this was a huge issue for conservatives. So here what the Attorney General is trying to do is to send a message to conservatives saying we recognize your grievance. It is accurate. You're going to get an apology and try to resolve this issue.
Do you think this sets a precedent moving forward for cases like this?
Well, it's an important reminder. The Obama administration consistently said that this was not some sort of partisan conspiracy, that this was actually happening as a result of really poor management. But it's important to listen to any administration that poor management can look a lot like, unfair partisan antics. So it's important, to make sure all your agencies are being managed well so you don't have a conspiracy like this during your administration.
All right, Paula, thanks for separating fact from fiction for us. Paula Reid from Washington.